Look what I decided to do. I am putting some abstracted kind of rips of paper on my large A3 sketchbook, and the plan is to cover it all with colorful papers and then to play with some neutral paint on top to cover it all up. So I'm not sure if I'm making any sense, but I'm feeling excited. I'm using this Liquitex matte medium to cover it all and to stick it together. It looks really fine for abstract or whatever, for collage. I'm losing my words. Anyways, I'm excited to see what will happen with this one. And I'm done with this first layer. Look how busy it is, but I'm not worried because it's gonna be all covered up with some lighter tones, and I'm just waiting for it to completely dry so I don't smear these textured points that I did. Really looking forward to working on this one. I wanted just to quickly show you what I've been working on. I'm using these new cool paints that I've had an art haul about my video, and I wanted to tell you that these paints actually feel very chalky, kind of like chalk texture to them, very dry and matte, and I'm loving it. And I've been just playing around with this sketchbook to see how the colors feel, and I enjoy it a lot. Moment of honesty here. I've been feeling pretty down about my art practice today. I don't feel as creative as I sometimes do, and for some reason my back hurts and I feel a little bit of tiredness in everything I do, and it doesn't seem as exciting as it can be sometimes. So I will just abandon whatever I'm doing right now and I will get to some everyday duties before the creativity sparks again, because I just don't want to push myself further and not feel great about it. And it's okay to take breaks. I just want you guys to remember it's totally fine to leave everything as it is and come back when you feel better, and that's what I'm going to do. Today I've had the most amazing walk in the near forest park. I'm so grateful to be living next to this beautiful place. It inspires me a lot, and even though you don't see a lot of forest or green in my art practice, I sure restore all my strengths and inspiration by walking through the forest and listening to birds. I'm also a very avid podcast listener, and today I've been listening to a marvelous episode by Drawing Inspiration FM podcast, which is hosted by Mike Henley, and I enjoyed it a lot. And it really kept me going and kept me even more inspired through my walk. And I just wanted to share some snippets of the things that I've seen along my walk, and I hope it inspires you to get out in the nature and enjoy. Even if you have a small park near your home, just go outside and look at the small details along the way. Maybe grab something on the go and look at the insects you see or birds. I can feel that this connection to nature is really very important for me, and it does so much for my mental health, and I would not be okay without it. I decided to paint my old sneakers. Not sure if anything will turn out well. This is the piece you've seen me work on in this video previously, and I decided to work with it a little more, and now I like it a lot better. Here's Lolik, my cat, checking out what I'm doing. I've also found this old painting of a lady in a smaller sketchbook and decided to give it another go. We'll see how it turns out. And now I am back to this messy sketchbook spread with all the collage papers stuck on top, and this is just the first layer. And as I was planning, I wanted to go over it with some neutral colors to cover this all up and make it more muted. And I didn't have a plan in my head when I did this, and this is the most exciting thing for me as a painter, that I never know what will happen in my sketchbook. So I just kept going with the flow, and I did whatever felt right. I used my crayons to feel a little bit more free about it, and I really enjoyed playing with different textures in this piece, and I didn't expect for it to turn out the way it did, and I'm pretty happy about the end result, and I hope it inspires you to create something today or maybe next day. Whenever you feel like creating, I just want to share my inspiration with you, and I hope this process was interesting to see. Hi, today is Wednesday and I'm back to my studio, and as always I have no idea what I will work on today. I'm thinking something botanical maybe. I'm really running out of time as always. I have to do my errands and pick up my son from school pretty soon, so I better get started. And you see this on my lip. I promise I'm not dying. This is just a seasonal thing that I get. It will be better soon. So today I decided to play in this extra small sketchbook that I discovered recently in my storage, and I somehow picked watercolors, and I decided to layer some colors on top of the spread. I'm just putting this wash on top and using all the colors that feel right. I wanted to use something close to nature, like greens and browns and maybe some yellow as a sunlight. I really wanted to make something nature-like today, something botanical, something that I see on my walks all the time. And I wanted to use all kind of materials in here. I didn't want to limit myself to just acrylic paint or just oil pastels. So now you see me grabbing my oil pastels, which I really love to use because they feel so very freeing, almost like child play. And it's always so interesting that even playing with oil pastels, you can make something really beautiful. And then I'm grabbing this really bright orange color to start on these botanical leaves that I wanted to introduce in this piece. And I really love how this branch turned out. I think it's really beautiful. And I really like how this orange color is so very vibrant, so very beautiful. And I just continued playing with it. I wasn't thinking at all. I grabbed things as I was going, as always, intuitively. And then this tree appeared. I felt like I have to add something orange on the other side as well. And then I wanted to mute it all a little bit because it felt very vibrant and I wanted to feel more subtle, more like something magical, maybe something hidden in the fog and in the mist. And I just layered this ivory color, or is it butter color, just this neutral color on top, and played with crayons some more, added some patterns. I really did it all just intuitively. I decided to add one more branch in here and then layer it all on top with this neutral color to make it a little bit more hidden underneath. And you see me playing with paint. I really love this flat brush that I have. It's my favorite brush of all. I use it all the time. I just like how it takes up the paint and how it allows you to spread it all out evenly. And I'm continuing to cover it all up to make it even less vibrant. And now you can see that everything got really muted, and I decided to add some dotted pattern. I really love dots in all of my works. You probably have seen it a lot. And now I'm getting back to watercolors. I decided to add something more definite on top, something that you can really see. Adding some grass in there, something like foliage, using different colors to build up this frontal layer. And then suddenly I decided to add a hint of blue sky on top to make it really contrasty because I was missing something in this. And I really like how this blue is playing against this bright orange color. And yeah, I'm adding it all over the place to make it more even. I feel really excited about this piece. I didn't know how it will turn out, but I think it turned out really nice. And I'm really enjoying this. And what I'm doing next, I tried to add this white acrylic pen, but it seemed to be a wrong decision. I quickly realized that I don't really want any white in there, so I'm trying to smudge it a little with a brush so it's not that obvious in there. At this point I feel kind of lost and not sure what to do, so I decided to add this very vibrant yellowish orange color on top, which is watercolor. And then I think I'm gonna I'm gonna pull some of the water up with and I'm adding some more crayons, and I decided to add some blue also to add some interest in there to make it look even more interesting and colorful. And I'm adding blue on the other side as well. At this point I really like what I'm seeing already, and I decided to add some stripes to make it even more interesting, to make the background somewhat interesting. I always love to add stripes in my works. Sometimes I add lines, sometimes more like a wallpaper kind of stripes. I think they look really interesting in there. And I think I'm just adding some finishing touches by this point. Yeah, I decided to add some lighter grass also in this light color, so there's light on top and also light at the bottom, and everything is harmonious together. And I'm just really finishing it up already. I'm liking the result. I'm enjoying myself. I know it's a little bit not as abstract as my usual pieces are, but I'm really satisfied with this little experiment that I decided to do. I feel like it's really important to switch from one medium to another and switch the subject matter to keep it all interesting and not boring. And here you see the close-up of this small piece I did in my sketchbook. I hope this little piece inspires you to create today, and I hope it was interesting to watch. Congrats, you've made it to the end of this video. I really hope it was inspiring for you. I had a lot of fun making and editing this video. If you like my channel, please hit the subscribe button and also leave a comment if you have something to say, and I will see you in my next vlogs. Bye!